Al Pacino, one of the most iconic actors of our time, was born Alfredo James Pacino on April the 25th, 1940, in East Harlem, New York City. His early life was far from glamorous, marked by struggles that would later inform his richly nuanced performances. When Pacino was just 2 years old, his parents separated, leaving his mother, Rose, to raise him with the help of his grandparents. They moved to the South Bronx, a vibrant yet gritty neighborhood populated by working-class Italian-American families. Growing up, Pacino experienced the weight of poverty firsthand. His family lived modestly, often scraping by to make ends meet. Without a stable paternal figure, young Alfredo sought male role models elsewhere, including the characters he idolized on the big screen. It was in the local movie theaters, where he could escape for just a few cents, that Pacino discovered his love for storytelling. He became enamored with the larger-than-life personas of actors like Humphrey Bogart, James Cagney, and Marlon Brando, performers whose intensity and charisma would later influence his own acting style. Though Pacino found joy in movies, his school life was a stark contrast. He struggled academically, often feeling out of place in a rigid educational system that didn't nurture his artistic inclinations. His passion for acting began to blossom during this time, and he started entertaining his classmates with impressions and dramatic monologues. Despite his natural talent, his family was skeptical about his aspirations. Acting was seen as an impractical dream in their world, far removed from the day-to-day realities of survival. By his teenage years, Pacino's struggles with school culminated in him dropping out of high school. This decision created tension within his family, especially with his mother, who hoped he would follow a more conventional path. Pacino's rebellion wasn't without purpose, though. He was determined to pursue acting, even if it meant walking a lonely road. He took on a series of low-paying jobs, including janitorial work and roles in mailrooms, to support himself while he auditioned and sought training. Amid these hardships, Pacino found solace in the arts. He joined a small theater group in the Bronx, honing his craft and earning the nickname Sonny among his peers. It was during this period that he began to understand the transformative power of acting, a medium where he could channel his struggles and frustrations into something meaningful. Pacino's big break came when he was accepted into the High School of Performing Arts in Manhattan, a stepping stone for many aspiring actors. Although he faced setbacks there, including being rejected from roles, his drive never wavered. After leaving the school, he sought refuge in the vibrant theater scene of New York City. He auditioned relentlessly and eventually found his way to the Actors Studio, where he studied under the legendary Lee Strasberg. There, he learned the principles of method acting, a discipline that would define his approach to his craft. Despite the odds stacked against him, young Alfredo James Pacino remained resolute. His upbringing in the South Bronx, marked by struggle and resilience, provided the foundation for the intense, deeply human characters he would later bring to life. For Pacino, acting was more than a career. It was a lifeline, a way to transcend his circumstances and connect with something greater. His early years, though challenging, laid the groundwork for a career that would redefine what it means to be an actor. Pacino's teenage years were a time of rebellion, self-discovery, and immense struggle. As he navigated the challenges of adolescence in the gritty streets of the South Bronx, he often found himself at odds with traditional expectations. His mother, in particular, hoped he would pursue a more stable path, while his grandparents, who had sacrificed so much to provide for him, were skeptical of his dreams. But Pacino was resolute. For him, acting wasn't just a profession. It was an escape, a way to express the emotions he carried, and a means to transcend his circumstances. Though the roles were minor and the pay was negligible, these experiences were formative. They gave him the space to experiment, fail, and grow. More importantly, they introduced him to a community of like-minded artists who shared his passion for storytelling. Pacino's breakthrough moment came when he was accepted into the prestigious Actors Studio, a renowned training ground for some of the greatest actors of the 20th century. Under the mentorship of Lee Strasberg, a pioneer of method acting, Pacino began to refine his craft. Method acting, which emphasizes emotional authenticity and a deep psychological connection to the character, resonated deeply with Pacino. It allowed him to channel his own experiences, the struggles of his youth, the alienation he felt from his family, and the raw emotions he carried into his performances. At the Actors Studio, Pacino's talent was undeniable. His ability to inhabit a character with such intensity and realism set him apart from his peers. Strasberg recognized this, taking Pacino under his wing and pushing him to explore the depths of his artistry. Pacino later credited Strasberg with not only teaching him the craft of acting, but also instilling in him the discipline and resilience needed to navigate the highs and lows of an actor's life. Al Pacino's breakthrough came in 1972 when he was cast as Michael Corleone in The Godfather, a role that would not only change his life, but also redefine the landscape of American cinema.
You see, I'm not saying there's Sonny, and saying Sonny, or Freddie, come here. I'd like you to meet. I'm not doing
sure
that.
How far to go? So he does it in this very indirect way. He doesn't say, "Look, my father is a criminal, a gangster who has been shot," and he kind of tells her little anecdotes. And at first,
Right.
It's nice. Even when it's lighter, it's fine. But the scene is a serious scene.
Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, the film was a monumental undertaking, adapting Mario Puzo's best-selling novel about the complexities of family, power, and crime. Despite Pacino's talent, his casting was a gamble. At the time, he was a relatively unknown actor, and studio executives were skeptical, favoring bigger names like Robert Redford or Warren Beatty. But Coppola, recognizing Pacino's unique intensity and ability to convey profound depth, fought fiercely for him. The gamble paid off. As Michael Corleone, Pacino delivered a performance of remarkable subtlety and transformation. He took the audience on Michael's journey from a reluctant outsider to a ruthless mafia boss, exuding a quiet menace that was both chilling and magnetic. The role earned Pacino his first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor and placed him firmly in the spotlight. Overnight, he became a household name, with critics and audiences alike praising his nuanced portrayal. Following the success of The Godfather, Pacino embarked on a series of roles that solidified his reputation as one of Hollywood's most compelling actors. In Serpico, 1973, directed by Sidney Lumet, Pacino played Frank Serpico, a real-life New York City cop who exposed widespread corruption in the police force. The role showcased Pacino's ability to embody morally complex characters, earning him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. His raw, unflinching performance captured the struggles of a man fighting for integrity in a deeply flawed system. In Dog Day Afternoon, 1975, another collaboration with Lumet, Pacino delivered a tour de force performance as Sonny Wartzik, a desperate man who robs a bank to pay for his partner's gender confirmation surgery. The film's blend of tension, dark humor, and social commentary resonated with audiences, and Pacino's portrayal of Sonny, by turns chaotic, tender, and fiercely determined, earned him yet another Academy Award nomination. Perhaps one of Pacino's most iconic roles came in 1983 with Brian De Palma's Scarface. As Tony Montana, a Cuban immigrant who rises to power in the brutal world of the Miami drug trade, Pacino delivered a performance of operatic intensity. The film, with its larger-than-life characters and explosive violence, became a cult classic. Tony Montana's infamous line, "Say hello to my little friend," entered the cultural lexicon, and Pacino's portrayal of the flawed, ambitious, and ultimately doomed Montana became a defining moment in his career. To be continued in Part 2.